Welcome back for another video. This video is going to be on Chapter 5 tutorial, or actually, sorry, Exercise 6, the support fixture. So this is going to throw a little bit of a curveball at you. You have to do some different things to create this part. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch, and I'm going to make that slot shape with the two holes in it. So kind of like the bracket part that would bolt against something. So I'm going to go ahead and start a sketch, and I'm going to start this on the XZ plane just for a change. And I'm going to pick my slot command, and I'm actually going to type the dimension 7.0 for my slot, and it looks like the outside is radius of 1.5, which is a diameter of 3.0. Let's make sure it's giving me a diameter. Okay. I'm going to make this center coincident to the origin, and there's a reason for that, and I will touch on that here in a few moments. So we are fully constrained. Let's just add our holes, which are 1.5 and 1.5. Okay, so we have that fully constrained. Let's go ahead and extrude that. And it's going, we need to extrude that 1 inch. Okay, so we're already set to 1 inch. That's good. Let's name that call it slot extrusion. All right. Now, the next part, this angled part, right, this right angle, this dog leg, we've got to figure out a way to create that. So we don't have any surfaces we can really work on here. But if you remember, a couple moments ago, I said that I was centering that slot on the origin. And that was for a reason. This is why I always tend to center my parts on the origin. It makes it easier to create other features down the road. So when you are drawing something, you should think ahead about the process and not just dive in and then find out later that it's not going to work and then you have to go back and change stuff. So although this gives you a lot of flexibility to go back and change, it's obviously easier if you have it right from the start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch, and I'm going to go to one of my planes. I know, let me get an angle so you can see them a little better. I know that my XY plane is centered, and it is basically right in the middle, and it's the plane that I can work on to extrude that, the direction that I need to extrude it. So I'm going to select that one. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slice the graphics. So I can right click, hit slice graphics. And basically what that's going to do is just, it's going to give me that plane. It's going to remove everything that's in front of that plane. And we're going to create a line there and a line up. And I'm going to dimension those. This one here is dimensioned from the center, which is why I'm coming from my origin. And that is dimensioned to 5 inches. 5.0. And, better make this coincident. There we go. Thought I snapped it already, but I guess not. And then this one is coming from here to here. And it's telling me that that's 2.25. All right, so there we are fully constrained, and I need to add a fillet, which is at 0.5. So we're going to add that in, and there we go. So that's fully constrained. Now what I could do, I could create another one the same way that I created this one. So I can create another chain or segment, a couple line segments, and that would be the other side of this. The other thing I could do is just offset this, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my offset command. And I'm going to select this chain, and I'm going to have it offset 1.0. Hit escape. 2 dimensions still needed. So I got to see what those are here. I think it's probably going to be the base point for this thing. Yeah, it's the base point for this thing. what I can do with that is I can actually say, okay, I want you to be vertical to there. Nope, not going to let me do that, huh? What I do want you to do is be vertical to there. Oh, you know what? It's wrong. So when I pick vertical, depending on what plane I'm on, it's not going to give me the vertical I want. This is actually horizontal on this plane. So I got to go pick horizontal, which in fact is going to give me vertical. Okay. All right, so I'm guessing the other one's probably this. Yeah, so it's this length here. But that's not to worry. We're going to make that, in this case, we're going to use the vertical command, even though it's actually horizontal. And I'm just going to connect these two lines. And we are fully constrained. I'm going to finish the sketch. And we're going to extrude this. Okay. Select that. And we need to go, how much is this? We're going to symmetric. And it looks like it's 4 inches wide. So we're going to make that 4.0. And there we go. There is our right angle. So we're going to name this angle extrusion. Close those up because I don't need them anymore. And the last thing we need to do, well, two things we have to do. You have to create 2 more features. And could we do this in less? Probably, but it would actually be a lot of sketching. It would really be a pain to do it. So 4 sketches is probably the most efficient way to make this. All right, so I'm going to create a sketch on this face, and I could create it on any face. Actually, in fact, I'm going to make it easier. So I'm going to try and think ahead. I didn't think about that before I selected this face, but now that I look at it, it's actually easier if I select the other face, because if I select the other face, it's going to allow me to select it all in one direction. Otherwise, I'm going to do a bidirectional, and this actually work out bidirectionally because the thickness of this web is 1 inch, and it protrudes 1 inch past the web. So I could do a bidirectional, and it would work. But just for drawing intent, I'm going to go off of this face. So I'm going to, whoops. Okay. By the way, so you might have seen I clicked extrude there and then hit a face. That'll actually take me right into a sketch. So we're going to go ahead and finish that sketch because I believe that is fully constrained. And see, then it brings me right into the extrude. I'm going to select both of these, reverse them, and that's going to be a 2.0 dimension. Didn't want it to cut, though. Didn't see that it was on cut. We want that to Boolean join, and okay. All right, there we go. So we're going to say that's going to be the arc extrude. And there we go. So that looks good. Last thing I'm going to do is put that hole in there. And I'm just going to choose my hole command to do that. And I'll select here. And just give me that circle. And that automatically makes it centered. It's going to be a 2-inch hole. That's already selected. Hit OK. And rename this 2.0 hole. OK. All right, so that is it. That is our finished part. Everything looks good there. So if you have any questions, of course, as always, you can see me during class, or you can come see me during my office hours.